We all wish we could be more productive, right? We only have 24 hours in a day and so many different things that compete for our time. But what if I told you there is a single concept that's killing your productivity at this very moment?
Fundamentally back to the context switching.
This helps to prevent also interruptions in task switching.
We incur what's called a cognitive switching penalty.
All that switching across tasks comes with a neurobiological cost.
My name is Aaron, and today we're going into the science behind context switching and how it's holding you back each and every day from accomplishing your goals. First, we're going to answer the question of what the heck context switching actually is, and we'll go into how we keep falling into this trap and what we can do about it. So, context switching is the cognitive penalty we face every time we switch between two attention-demanding tasks. By far the most common example of this is when we're sending emails at work or sending a couple texts in between studying sessions. The term context switching actually originates from computers, describing their ability to pause certain processes and store their progress when other more pressing tasks come up. Now, unfortunately, computers are a lot better at context switching than we are, which causes us to suffer from switching costs in the form of time, money, and effort. Now you might be thinking, how much of a difference do checking a few emails really make? And surprisingly, the answer is a lot. The American Psychology Association suggests that context switching could cost as much as 40% of our productive time. That is a huge number. That means 4 hours of productivity could take over 6.5 hours to accomplish. So clearly, this is a problem that we need to address. Okay guys, so this is the part of the video where most people ask you to like and subscribe, but I'm going to ask you to do something else. If you enjoyed this video and know anybody who's in school, I would love for you guys to check out the first video I made on how to study better using science. I'll throw in a link to it at the end of the video. Thank you very much everyone. Let's get back to it. Now the next question is, if context switching is so bad, why don't we even notice the effect it's having on us? A big reason for this is because society trains us to focus on working hours, not on output. For example, when we first enter the workforce, most of us are getting paid based on an hourly wage. I've even had some high school teachers ask on the back of tests how long we studied for. They don't ask how hard we studied or what strategies we use, simply whether or not we put in the hours to begin with. All these societal influences cause us to not think twice about how we're working. We just make sure that we're putting in the hours to begin with. So now that we understand why we tend to fall into this trap, one question remains: what can we do about it? Lucky for us, there are two proven strategies we can use to try and fight the impact of context switching. The first thing we can try and do is separate work from play. The idea here is that we want to try and separate the things we enjoy from the time we spend getting productive things done. We know this is necessary because when the world went online, we saw everyone started creating home offices. This just further proves the need to try and separate work from play in order to get more value out of both parts of our lives. One of my biggest pet peeves I see in school is people who try and watch Netflix while they study. If you're someone who does this, please stop, I'm begging you. It makes no sense. You don't enjoy the show that you're watching, and you also don't get anything done. Try and separate these, and I promise you'll get way more value out of both things. The second thing we can do is something called batching. Author and entrepreneur Tim Ferriss describes this best with a simple example.
You wouldn't do your laundry every time you have a new pair of dirty socks.
We want to allow tedious tasks and distractions in our work lives to pile up before we spend time and focus on them. This can mean checking emails once every 1 or 2 hours and checking them all at once instead of allowing yourself to periodically check them every 15 minutes throughout your workday. Implementing these changes is so important because time is the one resource that we can't get any more of. At the beginning of this video, I mentioned that you could be killing your productivity at this very moment. Now I have to ask, are you trying to get anything productive done while you're watching this video? If so, I caught you. Please stop and get the most value out of your time. Thanks for watching everybody. Go do good things. Really quick, here's a video I mentioned earlier if you guys want to go check it out.